Hello everyone, in today's video I'm gonna talk about how to succeed in Reaper 10 and what build I'm currently using for it. There are three main differences in Reaper in comparison to the regular difficulties: DPS penalty, self-healing debuff and higher outcoming damage from the monsters. The only mechanic I don't really like is the DPS penalty. In theory it works the same as they would have buffed up the HP of the mobs, it just takes longer to kill the individual mobs. I don't find it challenging at all, in fact I find it very boring and tedious. So the way to work around this mechanic is to use charms and insta-kills, because that way you can overcome the DPS penalty. I am currently using a pure wizard that has necromancy as a primary skill and enchantment as a secondary skill. The advantage of this build is that you don't really need to farm the past lives until your eyes bleed. I don't have any relevant heroic past lives, nor any relevant epic past lives. The iconic past life I have is just a tiny bonus to the forged race that is not really important. I don't have any racial past lives, nor I have many Reaper points. In fact, I started to complete Reaper 10 quests with this build when I had 0 Reaper points. I only have some extra ability points because I TR'd more than twice. You can minimize this requirement by choosing either Gnome, Deep Gnome or Drow, who have extra intelligent points by default. So we are getting to the next point, and that is that you have to think through your healing. Because the self-healing penalty is so high in Reaper 10, you will need to cooperate with someone else and heal each other. Since my partner is a human Sorc, it is easy for him to grab Reconstruct and heal me, same as I can twist in Cocoon and heal him. So plan ahead your build having the healing in mind. If you are running with someone, you can be both forged with recon, or you can be a combination of forged and fleshy, but in that case make sure the other has the access to the recon. There is of course a possibility of taking healing amplification on forged and be able to get rationally healed by rigorous healing spells, but it requires some investment. If you are planning to run mostly in packs without anyone to rely on, I would recommend a fleshy race, because most players have the access to the Cocoon at least, but not everyone to the Recon for example, or to the negative healing. The last difference is the higher damage output from the monsters. As you can see, my HP is fairly low and my PRR practically non-existent. That means that on Reaper 10 at level I will get one-shotted basically by anything. So the key to the success is not to get hit. For that to happen, you can do some steps that will make your chances to survive higher. The first step is always, but I mean always, wear spell absorption. I am usually fine with just using Magister between the shrines and having pale lavender Younstall with jeweled cloak as a backup. The second step is a concealment. As a wizard, you have the access to the displacement spell, so make sure you refresh it non-stop. You should also get an item with Ghostly. I am using this Thunderforge armor with 1 extra DC. And of course, you should try to maximize your dodge and armor class. The third step is to twist and melt into the darkness from Shadow Dancer. This ability has a fairly long cooldown but comes in handy because it gives you 15 seconds long, 100% dodge that will help you to recover from wipes, or in the oh fuck moments, or when you simply need to jump in the middle of the mobs to cast Veil of Banshee for example. You should also get Enlarge, which allows you to cast the spells from far away and gives you more time and space to retreat. Another big chapter concerning the damage avoidance is the terrain. You should always use the terrain in your favor. You see a tree, a pillar, a rock, use them as your hiding spot between the spellcasts. Safe spots will mainly help you in the boss fights. If you see one, use it, if you don't, try to find one. Because trust me, you don't want to kite one mob plus 20 minutes. It is long, boring, and it will make you want to smash your head against the table. But in the end, you can never avoid the hits entirely, and you will most likely die a lot, especially in the beginning. The good item to have is the Gibber's Blade that gives you 1 chance per rest to recover from the wipe. So that would sums up the main Reaper mechanics. Now I would like to talk a bit about the spells I use. As I already said, my main skills are Necromancy and Enchantment. The Necro is for insta-kills and the enchantment is for CC and charms. As you can see, my DC isn't that high, so the key is to learn which mobs have low targeted saves and which do not. You will learn that mainly by the gameplay itself. The process we usually use is to charm the monsters first, so they take the aggro and start killing each other, and then we proceed to CC and insta-kills. Always be aware of the Reapers. You don't have to necessarily kill them first, and you can always use them to your advantage and charm them as well, but be aware of where they are and what they are doing. Some monsters are immune to charm, but not to dominate. It goes down again to knowing what works on who, which you will quickly learn by the gameplay. Considering the CC, the best is usually Solid Fog and Hold. Disco Ball and Web have very short duration in Reaper 10 and are only good to use in rare cases. Power Word Stun and Otto's Irresistible Dance are very good for the moments when you cannot afford the monster's save. Special mention can go to the Fear, that works very well if you have a problem with the aggro management. As the insta-kill spells, I mainly use the Finger of Death, Circle of Death, Veil of Banshee, and Power Word Kill. When you have a difficulty to insta-kill certain mobs, you can enervate them a few times and then use the insta-kill. I have this cycle of Enervation, Enervation SLA, Enervation Scroll, and Energy Drain that I can use in the case of death-warded champions or Reapers. I simply enervate those to death or lower their HP to the point it is easy to kill them with damage. For the undeads, I have Control Undead, Command Undead, and Command Undead SLA that work the same as the charms. The Halt Undead and Halt Undead SLA, which work as a good CC, and then Undead to Death as the insta-kill. The bosses can be very often killed by the charmed trash mobs. In the cases they cannot, you have to nuke them down or get some ranged or melee help. And as a final advice, don't get discouraged if you don't succeed at first. There were numerous times when we had to redo the quest multiple times because we were simply failing and had to come up with various strategies. Just try it and have fun.